Ciao, I'm Mary Ann Esposito. Today on Ciao Italia, pomodoro. One tomato, two tomato, three tomato, 4, 5 tomato, 6 tomato, and many, many more. Yes, it's tomato season in the garden. And you know, some years are better than others, and this is one of those so-so seasons because we've had a lot of rain, even though it's been very hot, and now we're at high summer, and we're just seeing tomatoes come in. So in this garden, we've got ripening, we've got our salad tomatoes. And those, of course, are great for any kind of salad, a marinated salad, you want to do a BLT, whatever you want to do. And then, of course, we have the plum tomato. And that's the tomato that we want to use for sauce. It's meaty, has less seeds, it's low acid, it's perfect. I can't wait to get the first one, like that one right there. Over there, we have the pianolo, the fabulous pianolo, this cherry tomato with the pointed end. And I'm really happy about that because it's not always easy to get the pianolo because they grow the base of Mount Vesuvius. And of course, this is anything but Mount Vesuvius, but the soil there is perfect. But we have them. We have the pianolo, and they are hung up on strings. Actually, the word pianolo means hanging. And they dry these tomatoes for about a month, and then they cut them in little pieces and they put them in olive oil, and then they have them all winter long. And we've got cherry tomatoes of all different varieties. And well, it's just tomato heaven right now. And so you and I need to go nella cucina, where I'm going to show you what you can do with a variety of fresh tomatoes. Leave it to Gaetano to plant all those tomatoes. Remember the cherries, the plums, the heirlooms. You know, I get in the kitchen, I have to come up with ideas. So today, I think I will make for you a tomato gratin. And you know what a gratin means? It's a French word, really. It simply means a casserole where there is cheese and bread that gets a little bit crispy. So, all we really need are tomatoes, cheese, and bread. It's real simple. So I'm going to start out with some bread. So here we have some ciabatta bread, and I like ciabatta bread for this particular recipe because it's holy. And I don't mean in the sense of sacred, I just mean it has a lot of holes in it. And that's good because it will absorb all of those tomato juices. So it's a good choice for this particular recipe. So you want to cut it up into, you know, cubes. See how holy it is? Ciabatta means slipper in Italian. So ciabatta bread, and you can find ciabatta bread anywhere. You can make it at home if you want to. So you cut up all this bread. You need about 4 cups. So we want 4 cups of the ciabatta. And it's better if it's a little old, you know, a day old or so, because it'll absorb the juices even better. So we want 4 cups. That's about 2 cups right there. And this will make another 2 cups. And I just think that this gratin is a wonderful side dish in the summer because, of course, tomatoes are in season, and this casserole is at its peak when you're using fresh tomatoes. You don't have fresh tomatoes, you can go to your farmer's market in the summertime, or you could just go to the grocery store. So there is our 4 cups of cubed bread. So now what are we going to do with this? Well, we have to kind of flavor this a little bit, so I'm going to brown it in some olive oil. And then we're going to finish it off, of course, in the oven. So we want to heat up some olive oil now. You want to use a pan that's a stovetop to oven pan, because after we brown this, of course, we're going to take it out and use this pan for the tomatoes, and then everything's going to go in the oven. So then you just take some of that bread. You're going to have to do this a little bit at a time. I would say about half at a time, and you brown it in the olive oil. Get a little color on it. So when that's browned, we'll take it out and then we'll put in the rest. brown even more in the oven. So it's lightly toasted in olive oil. So I'm going to set that aside. So now we need to work with garlic and some tomatoes. So let me get a knife. Here's a couple cloves of garlic. Just want to smash those down and give them a quick chop. Now you know, of course, when I was in the garden, I was giving you that tour of all the different tomatoes that we grow. You probably wonder what happens to all of those tomatoes. Well, a lot of them get frozen to make tomato soup, like the cherry tomatoes. They get frozen. A lot of them get sent to our neighbors. And the plum tomatoes, of course, get made into passata or into tomato sauce. And that all goes in the freezer. Okay, so there's our garlic. I'm going to put it back in the bowl. And now we want to get that going with a little olive oil, but first we have to cut up our tomatoes. So here we have cherry tomatoes for this. So either you can use the ones you have from the garden, you can go to the store and get cherry tomatoes, but by all means, please use a tomato knife to cut them. See this tomato knife? If I had a nickel for every time I recommended this knife, I would probably be in Italy, of course. So all we really want to do is cut these in half. And a tomato knife is great for that because it doesn't tear the tomatoes, see? And these are fairly big cherry tomatoes. So we have 4 cups of the ciabatta, and we need 5 cups of cherry tomatoes. So this is about 5 cups of cut-up cherry tomatoes. I'm talking about 5 cups of cut-up cherry tomatoes. So you can use red, you could use yellow, orange tomatoes, whatever you want. You could use a mixture. That would be pretty. I like those really deep orange ones you see in grocery stores sometimes, but we also grow something called sun gold, which is a yellow tomato. And it's like eating candy. It is just so sweet. I just go out to the garden and I pluck them and I just eat them left and right. I figure, you know, they're low in calories, so I have nothing to worry about in that department. But they are really a delicious tomato. So if you are growing tomatoes, grow sun gold. Also, if you noticed in the garden, I have a Sicilian variety called Piedmont. Those are really my pride and joy because they really are the seeds that come from southern Italy. And that tomato, as you noticed, had a pointed end to it. So here are our 5 cups of cherry tomatoes, all ready to go into a little bit of olive oil. All right, so let's get that olive oil going with the garlic, the tomatoes, and the sugar. So again, we're going to put a little bit of olive oil in a pan here. Get that going over medium heat. And I'm going to add the garlic. There. So swirl it around. And as soon as it's fragrant, we're going to add that tomato. So all the tomatoes go in. Just fits. And now I'm going to give this a little sugar just to bring out the sweetness. Tomatoes. Some salt. And pepper. I just want to cook these a couple of minutes till they kind of collapse just a little bit, because they're going to cook in the oven again. So I'm going to turn off the heat now and just let that cool down a little bit until I can handle it. But now we have to grate some cheese to go with this. So for this recipe, we are using a wonderful cheese, Asiago, which comes from Asiago in the Veneto. And you notice I have it in a cheese bag, see, when I use it. I always keep it in a waxed bag because that will keep the cheese fresh. So here it is when you buy it in the store. Always look for the true Asiago. So we're going to grate some of this Asiago. And you know, depending on the time of the year that you get this cheese, the flavor will change because of what the cows are eating in the pasture at that time of the year, like in the spring or the fall. So now we're going to grate this. And Asiago is also a good melting cheese when you get it young or in a mezzano, aged of, you know, between 3 and 6 months. So I'm just going to grate myself a nice hefty amount of this Asiago for us to put with the tomatoes and the bread, and that's going to give great flavor to this dish. Okay, that's about right. Okay, so we've got that, and I'm going to put that right here in a bowl. Okay, now I'm going to bring over the casserole just to show you what happens next. So here are those tomatoes. And now what we want to do is take the bread, and I'm just going to use my hands, and push it down into the tomatoes. This is all going to collapse because it's going to pick up those juices from the tomatoes. It's a great use for leftover bread. And I think this is a great picnic dish as well. Get it all in there. It's all gonna collapse down. And the oven is on at 350 degrees. And this is going to cook for about 35 minutes or so, depending on your oven. I always give you an approximate time. And now the cheese. And this is where the gratin part of this comes in. So the cheese is all going to get nice and crusty. I want to eat this right now, just the way it is. And at the end, we're just going to garnish this with a little bit of fresh basil. So it's ready. And now I'm going to take it over to the oven. Okay, kitchen is going to be smelling beautiful in about a few minutes. And while that's cooking, how about we make a really nifty tomato tart? Now this is a really easy tart to make, a tomato tart, because you're starting with already purchased puff pastry, which is a good product. So you don't have to slave in the kitchen making puff pastry. So on a wood board or whatever surface you have, you want to just spread out that dough a little bit. Not too much, because this is going to go into a 9-inch tart shell with a removable bottom. Now you could also do this in a pie dish if you wanted to, but then of course you wouldn't be able to take the whole tart out and put it on a nice display platter. So use the puff pastry when it's cold, of course, because you don't want it to get too soft, and you've got a lot of flakes of butter in the dough, so you don't want that to get soft, because then it won't be puffy. All right, so here it is, just about where I want it. See how stretchy it is? And now you need a tart shell pan. So here's a 9-inch tart shell pan, removable bottom. You can find these in any cookware store. So I'm going to take this and just flop it right there. And just give it a little slack. Okay? It's going to give it a little slack because it is going to puff up some in the oven. So I just kind of get those edges in, and where there is too much dough, I just kind of take off the excess. Just take off the excess, and that you could use to just, I don't know, make little pinwheels or something. Okay, then you just bring up that edge and just kind of tuck it in there against the edge of the pan itself. Okay. And once you do this, then you want to put this in the refrigerator. Keep it cold while you're working with the other ingredients. I love this on a summer's day. This is a great lunch thing. It's a great supper dish. It's good for vegetarians if you leave out the next ingredient, but I'm going to talk to you about that in a minute. Let me cut this little piece off here. Okay. All right. Looks good. And in the refrigerator it goes. Okay? Just like that. Okay. I'll put it in the refrigerator. Keep it cold until we really need it. Move off these pieces. So now, what goes with this? Well, this does, and this is called speck, Alto Adige, and it comes from Alto Adige region in northern Italy. It's made from the thigh of a pig, and it's air and smoked, air dried and lightly smoked. And when producers make this, they always say, I use a little salt, I use a little smoke, and I use a lot of thyme. So here it is, diced. And we're going to cook this now in a little bit of olive oil. This is going to flavor our tomato tart. Here's the speck, all browned. We don't want to make it hard, we just want to get a little color on it. So I'm going to set that aside now and work on the leeks. These are leeks, in case you don't know. Aren't they pretty? It's kind of like a, like my backhand? Yeah, okay. All right, anyway, so we want to cut off the dark green part, okay? So that we just discard. And we want to trim that end. Now, leeks are notorious for being dirty. Let's see how dirty this one is. Well, hey, it's like a deck of cards. It's clean. Wow. We don't have to do a thing. All we have to do is cut this. But if this was dirty, folks, we would have to put it under the faucet and rinse it out. So that sometimes they're very, very sandy. So now you just want to cut it up. You want one leek, and this was a pretty big one, so. And this we're going to put right into the pan that we did the speck in. So we have that nice flavor. And we just want to cook this down. They're going to wilt down. It looks like it's a lot, but really it's going to just wilt down to not this much. Okay, so let me gather all this up. Okay. And now we're going to cook these. See how much those leeks have cooked down. We've got here, I would say this is about a good hefty cup. So now I'm going to add the speck to it. Mix that together. And this is going to be part of our tart. So remember, our tart shell is in the refrigerator, chilling. So I'm going to get it. Okay, set this aside, get the tart. Okay, there it is, nice and cold. So I'm going to add the cheese to the base. This is Asiago again. Put some Asiago right in the base of the. Beautiful. And then our leek mixture. Spread it around. Pretty, huh? Even it out. Okay, that's lovely. Our oven is on, by the way, 400, preheated. Now we need the tomatoes, and here you have options. So we have cherry. These are the cherry tomatoes out of Guy's Garden, remember? Here are tomatoes that you could just buy in a grocery store. You didn't want to use these, you could use beefsteak for this, actually. So what I did here is I slice the tomatoes and dry them off a bit on some paper towel. And then it's just a matter of putting them on the tart. So just go all the way around. Pretty as a picture. I say it always looks like a stained glass window to me. And then if we wanted to add some of Gaetano's, we could put in the little cherries. You realize, of course, that the very first tomatoes were yellow. In Italian, tomato is pomodoro, and pomodoro translates to apple of gold. Apple of gold. That's how tomatoes were thought of early on, so they were yellow. I'm just going to fill in the rest of this with Gaetano's because I have to stay happily married. Okay, there's one more there and there. So pretty. So now, but we're not done. So now what we have to do is put some herb mixture over the top of this. So in this little bowl, I've got some some basil and some tarragon. About a half a cup each, minced. And I'm just going to add enough olive oil to this. Make a little pasty kind of mixture. Just mix some olive oil with it. Okay. And then all you want to do is dab this here and there on the tart. So I just put little dabs of it. Gives added flavor. Beautiful. Okay. Just go around the tart, putting it here and there. It's all going to cook down. Gorgeous. And it's going to taste delicious. Remember, we've got speck, we've got Asiago, we've got these garden tomatoes. What's not to like in this? All right. That's looking, look at that. Isn't that pretty? I love it. Okay, now we need to put this in the oven. Remember, oven's on 400. It's going to cook for about, 25, 30 minutes or so. Let's put it in. So, there you have it. Great recipes to do with tomatoes, pomodori. You say tomato, I say pomodoro, as in these beautiful tomato recipes that we made for you today. Remember, we started with the tomato au gratin, and we made it in a pan with tomatoes and breadcrumbs and cheese that got all nice and crusty. A perfect side dish for summer or any time, really. And then this beautiful tart where we have Asiago cheese and all kinds of a variety of tomatoes, cherry tomatoes, yellow tomatoes, topped with a nice mixture of herbs, tarragon, and basil. And until I see you nella cucina again, I'm Mary Ann Esposito. Ciao!